does a great job of kind of locking in the road, being around each other, team hotel, all those things. And so hopefully that we feel some confidence from the success we had, and we can build off that.
What do you have to see from McBride to be active on game days?
Just to keep coming. I mean, he's got the skill set. He's had his moments. I think with some of the injuries and stuff, it made sense for us just to bring 3 last week, but that usually changes week to week. So if we had to put him in, I'd feel confident he could execute and do what he needed to do.
How close was Justin being able to play last week, and are you hopeful for this week?
He'll be day to day. He's getting better, but I'm not sure he'll be all the way by Sunday.
Tyler was pretty frustrated post-game on Sunday. Do you get the sense that there's a little...
Have you ever seen him not frustrated after a loss post-game? Is that like a new thing for you? Okay, I haven't either, so. I've seen him frustrated after wins, too, so.
Do you notice anything, a little extra frustration on the practice field this week?
No, I think more than anything, just ownership. He's gone out and he knows it starts with him. That's the organization made it abundantly clear that he's the face of the franchise and everything's going to go through you. And we got to get better. And so I definitely sensed that he felt that out there today, his presence, the way he was making corrections and wanting plays over again that weren't right. I mean, he's taking ownership of it.
How much does it help when I don't know if it helps the right word, but when he's frustrated, do other guys see that and realize that, hey, we probably need to step this up a little bit?
Yeah, I think he's done a much better job of talking through things, just not, hey, getting mad, but now he'll pull a guy aside and say, hey, this is what I was expecting, this is why I was mad, and that's a big step. As a young player, like I said, all along, he just came in here without training wheels, and we threw him in, and he had to figure it out. But you can see that type of leadership and actually coaching guys through it. I mean, he's an expert in offense. It has really been a big step for him this season.
When he went against Chandler in practices, when it was one-on-ones, did he have his moments as much as Chandler could have got him if sacks were allowed?
Oh, like running around? Yeah, I don't want to comment on that because I don't want to piss Chandler off. So, yeah.
Kliff, how much of a script guy are you game day? I mean, are you stringent in sticking with the script, or are you kind of flexible on it?
Yeah, as far as the play call script, yeah, I try to, script out the first 10 to 15 that we want to be pretty steady with. And then by that time you have a feel for what they're doing and how they're going to play you, and you got to be able to make adjustments. But we usually stick to the first 10 to 15 and get a feel for the defense. And we'll mix in a bunch of personnel groups to see what they're doing and how they play different personnel groups, and then adapt from there.
I know you always appreciated Chandler and what he brought, obviously, but does scouting, like watching film, scouting, preparing for him, bring a new appreciation for what he could do, and what makes him good?
Yeah, I think he's obviously a freak when you talk physicality. I mean, a special talent in that regard, but he's always thinking about the next move and the next play and how he's going to beat a guy and how his hand placement. I mean, he'll send clips and clips and clips when he's watching guys. I can get him on this. I can do this. I mean, he names his pass rushes. I mean, he's eaten up by getting home into the passer, and I think that's what gets lost because he's such a talented player. He's very cerebral. He puts a lot into the mindset and how he attacks it mentally each and every day.
Did he have any particular good name for one of his moves?
He did. It was one called Snapchat, I think. That was pretty good, yeah. I think it was called Snapchat, yeah, because it's like you see it and then it disappears, apparently. Yeah. I don't have Snapchat, but I heard that's how that goes.
Talked about there being a mystery with the RB2 role. Is that his job to lose, or is it a week-by-week basis on that?
For us? Yeah, I think we'll see who's hot. Those guys each can do some different things really well, and so we'll just keep rolling. We feel really good about all of them. That's why we kept 5. But I thought Eno, when he had his opportunity, made some nice plays, and every time Daryl's had his, like I've said along, he's been as consistent as anybody in camp, and so we'll keep rotating those guys, and I'm sure everybody will get more playing time as the season goes on.
Was there ever a doubt in your mind that you would keep 5? But we all assumed it was going to be 4.
Yeah, I thought it would be 4-2 until we saw Key in practice and preseason how he kept coming and getting better and better and learning our protections and what he was able to do in the pass game. I mean, he's really been a nice surprise.
Coach, what did Steven Anderson show you over preseason to be on this roster, and then is it sort of like a hybrid type of like a receiver tight end type?
He is, yeah. The film we'd watched and why we liked him was his physicality in the run game. The way they used him as more the B back. there with the Chargers. But he's done some nice stuff in the pass game. Very consistent in special teams play, and he earned a spot on this team.
Is that good to go? Zach Ertz?
Zach, I feel like by tomorrow he should be practicing fully. Yeah.
How much can he help your offense get off to a good start?
Yeah, I think, he was limited, had a pitch count last week, so to be able to just have him going, he raises the intensity with the way he practices and plays, and, the juice he brings on the sideline. When he's fully into the game plan, I think he'll definitely help.
Can Byron travel with the receiver, and how comfortable are you with him doing that, if that's what ends up happening?
Yeah, I mean, we like what we've seen from Byron. We're going to be smart. I mean, everybody's tried different stuff with Devontae, and none of it's really worked great. I mean, he's that talented of a player. So we're going to have to mix up coverages and do different things to try and keep the ball coming to him all game. But, yeah, Byron's really taking some big steps this season, and we feel confident when he's matching up on their number one.
You mentioned the relationship with McDaniels earlier this week, but when you were kind of getting into coaching or transitioning to it or working with the Patriots, how much were y'all kind of side by side? Were you kind of
Yeah, a lot. He was working on the defense with Bill, which thank God I didn't have to do that. Kind of the quality control role, and so I would want to go out with like the team and stuff, and I try to pay him to do my work. And it's like, dude, I have so much work. There's no chance I have that. So I've watched him grind, and then I actually played for him he was my quarterback's coach there. And so I have such a tremendous amount of respect for where he came from the defensive side to being this offensive genius to all the success he's had with the Patriots, and now getting another shot. I mean, he's first class and a brilliant offensive mind.
Did you really try to pay him?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was like 23. I was trying to go out, I mean, it wasn't significant, but at the time it probably was for him. So he was just getting started too, but he worked really, really hard that year.
Coach, thank you.
Thank y'all.
point, did you see enough of Chandler in practice the last few years that you know how to avoid him?
Man, nah, it's gonna be fun. Chan is, he's a great dude. One of the best teammates I've ever been able, had the pleasure to play with. It's gonna be weird, different, obviously seeing him in a new uniform, but at the end of the day, he's got one job, I got one job. We'll be able to chop it up after the game, but when we're on the field, obviously it is what it is.
He's so unique as a pass rush because he doesn't necessarily want to get you down. He wants to just strip you. How much harder does that make it to go against him?
Never gone against him. So, you can't really touch the quarterback in practice. He's got back there and stuff like that, but you can't simulate game speed and all that stuff in practice. So, I'm trying to do my best to avoid him. But, I don't plan on seeing too much of him, I'll say that.
You're gonna use your feet.
Yeah, exactly.
I know you joked last year that with his shirt's off, he doesn't look that good and everything. Obviously, he's effective. Like, what makes him? Why is he good?
Oh man, he's a student of the game. He loves it. He's like kind of like a Zen master when it comes to the art of pass rushing and all the different ways to get to the quarterback. I know he does the whole. He's going out. He loves to educate other up and coming pass rushers. I got to see a little bit of it at the Pro Bowl. I know they got a pass rushing camp in the off season that he attends, and he just loves it. So it's hard not to respect that.
Have you guys seen it, or have you had any of that back and forth with him this year?
No, he jokes about his new fresh legs that he's got, but no, I talked to him. I talked to him before the season, probably maybe 2 weeks ago. But other than that, just keeping up with each other throughout the offseason, stuff like that. Obviously, hurt to see him go, but I'll always have love for Chan.
How was practice today?
Practice was great. Energy was good. Yeah.
Good way to start the week, man.
I believe so. It was a good day.
Could you tell there was a heightened sense of focus or just determination to really get after it?
Yeah, it's got to be. I think if there wasn't, then it's just when you get beat like that, at home, game one, yeah, it's got to be a wake up call for whoever felt complacent or whatever internally. You got to look in the mirror individually, and do you really want to be here? Do you really want to be great? Like what drives you? Like those are the questions I feel like need to be asked. But
do you with the way obviously Greg ended up being a real important part of the offense the other day, was that by design, or do you want to try and get it to some other people more often? Yeah,
I would love to get Keith and AJ more balls, Ertz more touches. James, it's once Hop come back, it's more mouths to feed, stuff like that. But no, that didn't happen they just kind of happened. It was one of those things where he happened to be in the right places at the right time, and that was that's just what happens when you're in the game.
Kliff said that when you're frustrated after losses, you don't keep it internalized anymore. You talk to guys, you coach them through things. What's that a byproduct of?
Losing. I mean, shit, you can only lose so much until, it starts to boil over and stuff like that. And I've been here, this is this organization, as far as since I've been here, we've gotten better each year, but it's still not the standard and not, how I'm used to playing and how I'm used to doing things on a football field. So, I mean, shit, closed mouths don't get fed. That's how I see it. So, any way I can, give my energy, give my mental to a young guy or somebody that maybe not be doing the right things, then I got to do it.
I know there's been a long stretch of time during this stretch, but you guys have lost 6 or 7 games going back to last year.
I'm not really worried about last year or what happened at home last year.
Well, right, but just because of that, because of the offseason was a little weird and everything, do you feel this franchise needs some good news? You know what I mean? Like something to go its way?
No, I'm not. None of that matters. I mean, nobody in the locker room feels like that. You're in the media, so that may be, your perspective. But, no, I don't think so.
This team does play well on the road, though. You guys have had some of your best games on the road.
It's a new team. It's a new team. We got new players. Again, nothing that we did last year is that shit doesn't just translate to next year. So.
Is there any kind of a mental frame of mind the team has when it's on the road that allows you to play so well and clean?
Again, this is a new team. This is a new journey. This is our first test on the road against a damn good team. So, what we will see.
Kliff talked about scripting the first 10 to 15 plays in the game and trying to stick with that with different personnel groups. How involved in that script are you as you lead up to game day?
We talk about it. One thing that we can't do, which is I think it's a common theme when we go 3 and out. That's especially start the game. Offensively, that hurts, especially when offense. The Chiefs. I think the first drive was 12 plays. Keep the defense on the field. Then we go 3 and out. They're right back out there. That's kind of demoralizing for defense and offense. So.
You mentioned Zach. How important will it? Kliff said he's probably by tomorrow full. How important will that be having him out there just pretty much full participant in the game?
Yeah, just getting his legs back underneath him, and then having his savviness out there over in the middle of the field. His knowledge of the game, his leadership, having him out there is definitely huge for us. Would love to see McBride and all the Max and Steve get going too. So excited for him.
How would you analyze how your first NFL game was with Hollywood?
Solid. It was solid. I think we got to do a better job of getting him the ball, getting him moving him around, stuff like that. Just making it tough for defenses. You watch around the league. You look at all these guys catching 10 plus balls a game, getting 10 plus targets a game. How do you do that? You got to design it, scheme it up, move him around, stuff like that. Which it's fixable. I think he had 4 catches or whatever, but it'll get better.
Can you take us through that 4th down play, the touchdown? Could you have done that if you didn't have a rapport with the receiver?
The touchdown to Keys?
To Hollywood. Yeah.
Yeah. It was 0. That was easy. It wasn't. It was anybody. We would have been able to do that. So.
When you're engaging teammates now, either grinding on them or motivating them, you have to know their personalities,
Yeah.
or do you just do it as the quarterback?
Yeah, it's just time and place. Certain people take stuff a certain way. Some people can't handle it. Some people can. If you're sensitive in that time and place, we probably shouldn't talk right now. And that's just kind of how it is.
How frustrating is it to have so many offensive guys dealing with little injuries, little nagging things?
I would rather get it out the way. Honestly, I think that's something the past couple of years we've been here started off kind of hot. And kind of cooled off. I'd much rather go the other way. You look at last year's Super Bowl, or even teams that won the division, the Packers. Last year, I'm not saying we are the Packers. I'm not saying we're the Titans, but they got their ass beat for week 1, 2. Look how they ended up. Look at the Bengals. Season didn't start off too hot, end up in the Super Bowl. So it's not. Week 1 really doesn't define who you are or what you're going to be as a team. You got to keep getting better each and every week, and I think that'll all take care of itself.
What was your breaking point of going from I'm just gonna keep to myself with all this?
Just like I said, just losing, man. Just like it's shit grinds on you. I don't need to go into further depth, but it's just comes a time and place where it's like enough's enough. You know what I'm saying? So
is it coming where you came from in high school and college? Is it still hard for you to lose? Or I don't think you get used to it, but can you handle it any better than?
No, wait. Ask that again.
Have you learned how to handle losing?
I think there's like a fine line of like taking what what happened and taking the experience and taking that and using that to get better the next week. Coaching guys where did we mess up? Where can we get better? What was I thinking? What was he thinking? And grow that way, because the difference is between college, it's like one game matters. The NFL, you can still make the playoffs. You can still it's different in college. So I don't want to say those games mean more. Every game matters. To me is equal, but it's definitely you got to be. You can't just be down in the dumps. You know, you got to get over it. You got another team the next weekend. So.
Just mentioned it though, he said you get pissed even after you win sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, shit feels ugly. You're not satisfied about the game. Yeah, that almost feels worse.
Kind of going back to Chandler, is he a guy you think will chirp during the game too?
I hope not. I mean, it's not gonna affect. I'm gonna just laugh at him. I mean, me and Chad. It's like I said. He's one of my best friends, like on the field. So it's like, it'll be funny. You know, obviously, I think he might, you know, try to throw some remarks in there, but it won't affect me.
Is there anyone you look to, like a mentor or anything, about how to be a leader? Is there any quarterback you like who really did that, or maybe somebody before that you kind of?
I haven't had the chance to really be around a lot of the veteran guys. Most of the guys that, you know, when I came into the league, they weren't too much, you know, older than me or anything. The Colt's probably the first, I don't want to call him old, but, you know, older guy, you know, that's been around that I had the pleasure to play with. But no, I've been around a lot of great players. You don't have to be a quarterback to be a leader. You know, so yeah.
Thanks, Kyle.
Thanks, Kyle.